So hello guys, welcome to the video. So in this video, we'll solve the question find all duplicates in an array. Alright, so what's the question? I will first explain you and then we will try to solve it. Alright, so the question is, we are given with the array, let's say 4 3 2 7 8 2 3 1. Alright, and this array has some duplicates value and we have to return that duplicate value. Alright, so in this we can see that 2 is duplicate, 2 is duplicate. Alright, 3 is duplicate, 3 is duplicate, and so we have to return output as 2 and 3. Alright, so we have to return output as 2 and 3 so that we find that these two elements were duplicate. Alright, so the first approach that come in my mind is that if I point a pointer here, if I mark this index here and then search this element in this whole array and see that if there is a copy of this element in this whole array, and if I find a copy inside this array, then I will mark this value or I will store this value in some result answer. Alright, but there is a problem. What's the problem? That this approach will cost us a lot. How? This approach will take time complexity of order of n square. Alright, because every element, let's say for 2, it will search with 4 3 7 8 2 3 1. Alright, it will search with every element. Alright, and for every element the array is traversed again. Alright, that means it will give us time complexity of order of n square, and we can't afford it because in the question we have given that we have to solve it in order of n time only. Alright, and so the second approach, if I talk about the second approach, so can I sort this array? Yes, I can sort this array. So let's sort this array for 5 6 and 7 1 2. Let me just write it again. 1 2 2 3 3 4 7 and 8. All right, so this array is sorted now. So now we will keep a pointer here, or let's say I will keep my pointer here I, and I will check that if array of I is equals to array of I minus 1, and when I encounter this I will store that element. Alright, so this can also be a possible solution, but in this solution it will cost us a complexity of order of log of n. Alright, because firstly we will sort this also and then we will search for every element, and we have to search every element once. Alright, so this will cost us a lot because we have to solve it in order of n only. Alright, so the last approach and the optimized approach for this type of question is, this is optimized approach. Alright, so the optimized approach is, let me first write indexes for every element 7, and we are given that our elements will only be the range of 0 to n. Alright, and our array is of n size of array, or you can say vector. Alright, so our array is of n size and we are given that elements will be only from 0 to n. So does this two things make sense? Yes, it makes sense because I can find an index from it. If I find an index from every element, then I can go to that index and then see that if I can mark that index. Alright, I can mark that index and then I can see that if an element is marked twice, then that element is repeated. Alright, I hope you understood this. Now I will implement this. So firstly I will get the index. So how we will get the index? I will take a value of, let's say, array of I and subtract 1 from it, because we have the largest element 8 here and the indexes are till 7 only because it is started from 0. So if I subtract 1, so I will get a value of index. Alright, so what I will do, I'll go and take the value 4 and subtract 1 from this and get the value 3. So below this I will write 3 and I will go to now third index. And what I will do, I will mark this 7 as negative 7. Alright, why I have marked this negative 7? Because whenever I will mark negative, these are positive numbers. So whenever I will mark a number negative, it will be in record that that number is once traversed or once caught inside this array. And if again an element, every time I will go to an element, I will check that if it is below 0 or if it is less than 0, if the value of it is less than 0, then that number is already traversed. How I will explain you. So I will remove this. So what I did, after getting third index, I jumped on to third index and I created the value of 7 as minus 7. I negative the value. I make the value negative. Alright. Now I will go to this index and I'll see that if I subtract 1 from this, so I will get 2. And if I will jump on to second index, so what will I do? If this number is positive, I will make it negative. And if this is negative already, so I will store this value. But till now we have got this only once. So this was positive, but now this is created as negative. Now I will go and see the updated value of this index is negative 2. Alright, this is updated value. So what you have to do every time, I will take the absolute value of array of I. Alright, because if this is negative and I will subtract minus 1 from it, so it will give me minus 3, but I needed 1 only. Alright, so every time I take a absolute value of this index and then I subtracted it, so absolute value of minus 2 is 2 and if I subtract 1 from it, so I will get 1. So if I will stand at 1, I will go and jump at 1, and after jumping at 1, I'll see that there is a value, positive value kept, so I will create it as negative value. 3 was converted to minus 3. Now I will see that there is minus 7, so I will take an absolute value of minus 7, which is 7, and then I will subtract 1 from it, so I will get 6. And whenever I will jump at 6th index, I'll see that there is a positive value, so I will convert it in negative value. Alright, till now everything is alright. Now I'll see that the value is 8, so I'll subtract 1 from it, so the value is 7 now. I'll jump at 7th index and see that there is a value, positive value, so I will create it as negative value, convert it to negative value. Alright, now this is the I guess, yeah, this is the critical point. So please give your 100% attention now. So the value is 2, and whenever I will subtract minus 1 from it, so I will get 1. Alright, so I will jump at 1th index, and at 1th index I will see that the value was negative already. Alright, and if the value was negative already, so I have to mark this value inside my answer value. I have to transfer this value inside my answer value. Alright, I have to transfer this value, because whenever I will come inside, I will see that if my array of I is less than 0 or not. If it is less than 0, that means I have to store it inside a vector. Alright, and if it is I'll explain you again when I will write the code. So just understand it till now, that if it is negative, then I will store it inside my vector. So if this was negative, so I had stored it inside my vector. Now I will jump forward. So I will go to here and I'll get 3. The absolute value of minus 3 is 3. So I'll subtract 1 from it. So I will get 2. Now I will jump at second index and see that the value was already negative. and the value is already negative, so I have to push that inside my vector. All right, very simple. Now if I pushed it inside my vector, again I will start traversing the vector. I will get 1 minus 1, and 1 minus 1 is 0, so I will go here and make this minus 4. All right, so whenever array is ended, I'll get my final answer as 2 and 3. All right, so I hope you understood this algorithm. If you didn't understood, then please reverse the video and see it again, because I have explained it very finely. So now I will create the code for this algorithm, and then we will see if it works or not. All right, so I will jump onto the website and I'll code this out. So we are given an array, we are given a function which has the return type of array, vector, sorry, and we have passed the vector also of num size. So firstly I will create a vector inside which I have to store my answer, so I will create a vector answer only. All right, so firstly let me get the screen big. All right, so I'll write here to create a vector. I will write answer vector. All right, whenever I'll create answer vector, after that I'll traverse the array. I'll write traverse the vector, and how I will traverse the vector from 0 to nums dot, because our vector name is nums, so I'll write nums dot size I plus plus. After that, what I have to do, I have to find index, so I'll write I have to find index at which I have to I have to convert the value in negative, so I'll find index. I'll find index, I'll write index is equals to array of absolute value of nums of I, it's subtracted by 1, and it will give me index. After that, what I will do, I'll take out the value, so I'll find value of it. All right, I'll write the value of, I'll get the value at which I have to find value at which I have to convert positive to negative. All right, now what will I do, I'll write here nums of index. All right, what will I do afterwards, I'll check that if it is 0, if it is negative or not. If it is negative, then I'll do something. So I'll check that if my nums of index is smaller than 0, and if my nums of index is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then it was very simple. I have to just convert it into negative number. So I will go there and multiply it by minus 1. It was very simple. But if it was a negative, already a negative number, so what I have to do, I have to take my vector and push that value inside it. So can I push this value? No, I can't push this value, because this value has already been converted to minus or negative number, because if this condition is hitting, for example, let's assume if this condition is hitting, that means that particular element is traversed twice, so this is a negative value. All right, this is a negative value. So what can we write for, instead of this value here? Let's see that if I write index plus 1 here, so I'll now just show you again how are we writing index plus 1 here. For example, if I got, let's say 2, so when I got at 2, I'll jump on to this element. All right, and the value is 2. So when I added 1 in this index, I got the value 3. All right. And let's say I'll go here and see that this value is negative. So I'll jump on and get the value as 2. All right. So this is how we are getting the value as 2. And at last I will return my vector answer. All right. So let me run this code first and then we will see if it gives some error. All right. So the code is accepted and let me submit this code now. And see that if all the test cases are passed. All right. So there is, I guess, some internet connectivity issues, but yeah. All right, so we got our 10 out of 10 marks. That means it has a correct answer. So I hope you understood this question. If you understood this question, please like the video and subscribe our YouTube channel. And if you did not understood it till now, then I will request you to please play the video in reverse after. All right, in reverse. All right, so and also if you didn't understood what happened here, then I will suggest you should to do a dry run by yourself. All right, and I hope you like the video, and if you have some feedback for us, do pin down in comment section. So we'll meet in the next video. Till then, thank you so much.